Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Higher Self Expo introduction segment for the speakers. My name is Nicholas Perrin, one of the co-hosts for the Australian segment, and we are most blessed today to be connecting with Alexander Mcpherson, who's based in Australia. He'll be one of the speakers. Alexander, would you like to share a little bit about yourself, just to give the audience a bit of a backdrop to your story and what brings you to be a speaker at the conference where science meets spirituality?
Sure. Thank you, Nicholas. So happy to be here with you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time. It's nice to be here with everybody who's joining online as well. Yeah, so my background, take you on a little bit of a story. In my early 20s, I was pretty adventurous and I was partying a lot, but also searching, always searching through that phase of my life. And I actually ran a warehouse space in my early 20s and was always looking to cultivate connections and build community, even at that age, in reflection, even though forefront of my mind was having a good time. Then when I was about 22, 23, things started changing really quickly, and I sort of had a spontaneous Kundalini awakening, which I write about in my new chapter, Fearless Presence, out July 2nd. There you go. There's a little pitch for Fearless Presence. I don't usually do that, but I thought that'd be fun. So basically, I had this spontaneous Kundalini awakening, and then things started changing very quickly. I became aware that the world was going through a transitional period that kind of slapped me in the face. I didn't have anyone around me to talk to that sort of thing about. But then that led me to India, and then it led me to find my spiritual teacher in 2015, which is Master Zhi Gang Sha. So I've been studying the Tao with Master Sha for the last 5 years. And the Tao wisdom is the universal principles and laws. So it actually explains what is the fundamental makeup of the universe. And that can be explained through various universal laws. One of them that many people might be familiar with is yin and yang. But there's the law of Shen Qi Jing, 5 elements. And then there's the big law, which explains actually the creation, how everything comes into creation. So that is the Tao normal and reverse creation, which I'll also be touching on at the Higher Self Expo.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Alex. And obviously this particular Higher Self Expo, we've had, I think, 3 already. This one, the flavor is where science meets spirituality. So would you be able just to share a little bit specifically about the talk that you're going to be sharing and how that relates to how science meets spirituality and what the audience can expect to receive by joining your speech?
Absolutely, yeah. So science is such a fun time for science right now. I feel like there's a real meeting and convergence of science and spirituality. And one of Master Sha's books that he's written with a quantum physicist is actually called Tao Science. So when I talk about the makeup of the universe, what this is actually doing is it's uniting these ancient principles of spirituality with scientific principles. So an example of that would be the law of karma, which people may have heard of, can actually be related to entanglement in scientific theory. So that's one parallel that exists. But what I'm really hoping to show throughout this process is that one of the main things, and this is sort of from my own reflection, is that science, I think, in my personal opinion, science comes after the manifestation, so to speak. You have to be able to observe something for it to become, scientific theory in the traditional sense. Now, if we can understand the makeup of the universe and actually what's creating that from the invisible, or what they, even like that dark matter theory in quantum science, then we can actually work from that place before manifestation. So it is scientific and we can still relate that, but it's coming from a different level. And now quantum science is helping us to relate some of these theories that have actually been there throughout throughout spiritual, wisdom for a long, long time. The last thing I'm going to say, which is what I was going to touch on a second ago, is what I feel like is really amazing and important in bringing science and spirituality together is in science, traditionally, when we have tried to observe matter, so to speak, or what's the phenomena, what we're doing is we're using...
And the Australian segment will obviously be for 8 hours, and then there'll be the European segment, and then the United States of America, or the Americas as well. We have 6 co-hosts that will take you through the whole series, and we're really looking forward to connecting with you all. Before we leave, Alexander, is there anything you'd like to share with the audience, how they can get in touch with you, any projects that you're working on, anything that people, you would like them to know about?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Nicholas. So I actually also run an annual event with some other beautiful people called Unity, the Meeting Place. And we actually have a Unity community, which is a global family. It's situated around sort of Australia and mostly New South Wales, but we spread up to Queensland, down Victoria, and a bit all around the country. But I invite everybody to be part of the Unity community, because that's what it's really about. So, and there's a lot of amazing offerings from different people in the community. So you can find that, the Unity Community Facebook page. You can also follow me. I'm setting up a website at the moment. It's not quite launched. But if you're really committed to following me, just give me a little bit of time. And in the next month or so, I'll have a website, which is alexandermcpherson.com. And I'll be able to fill you in on more of my personal offerings through that space, as well as what's happening in the community.
That's awesome. And I've participated in the Unity community, which happened, the last one was in February, and it was a very beautiful journey and experience, really bringing different communities under one banner or one community. And I really feel that humanity's crying out for this more and more at this time, and giving lots of different people, a lot of different practitioners, an opportunity to co-create and be a part of one magical journey. So thank you for following your inspiration, Alexander, in putting that together. It takes a lot of work to put events on, particularly live events and multi-day events. And so, yeah, appreciate your efforts and appreciate all the
mate. And appreciate
commitment.
You. Appreciate and love you. Thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for being a part of it. It's the time for it, it's the time for it. And we can talk about all this science and spirituality, and ultimately that feeds back to what we do in the world. And I think that's the meeting place for us with Unity, is creating a platform for all of us to start collaborating and working together and sharing this wisdom and knowledge and just our beautiful gifts.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today on this little mini segment. We look forward to journeying with Alexander on the 18th of July. We look forward to connecting with you all. Thank you for being a part of this experience.
Bye, everybody.
Bye for now.